All right, so starting the week with some bad news for Meek Mill, we mentioned that he was heading back to court because he violated his probation from his 2008 charges. He is going to prison for 2 to 4 years. Now, Meek has been dealing with the same judge since 2003. It sounds like he pleaded with her for about 40 minutes. He said, "I'm human, I'm not perfect. I'm asking for mercy. You gave me the ladder to do what I have to do to prevail in my struggle. I made it this far. I really can't go back and start over." It sounds like the judge really wasn't having it. She said, "I gave you break after break, and you basically just thumbed your nose at this court." So she sentenced him to 2 to 4 years and said, "Then I'll be done with you." Are you surprised this happened?
Nope, not at all. I'm not ready for my deep dive, so I need to hear Act talk first.
This guy with a deep dive. No, well,
wait. I do have a deep dive, and today's election day, and my deep dive ties them both together. So I would like you to go first, so I can add some actual substance to the topic here.
You're very philosophical. Pull a collar, let's get good. Anyway, I mean, I wasn't surprised really. Well, actually, I was surprised because I thought if the only thing the prosecutor is going to bring to court are the charges that got dismissed, those two. Mm-hmm. I was like, he probably will get off with maybe some more house arrest, a little bit more stricter, monitoring, but he's not going to jail. I figured if anything that was going to threaten him going to jail, it would be probably something that we haven't heard in the media thus far. Could be, you never know, another fraudulent piss test, right? It could be finding out new information of him not communicating while he's moving around, because those were the things that triggered the first, and it seemed like a week-long probation hearing where everybody testified, including Nikki, who supposedly was crying to say, "That's my man and he's good for the kids, you can't lock him up." So I figured it was going to be that. I didn't think it was going to be like, hey, okay, you got the arrest even though it got dismissed. Basically, you're going to jail. And it was pretty open and closed. It didn't look like it took a long process to get that decision made. Now, I see a lot of people today very sad, and of course, they're saying that the system's out to get them. And I think if we're going to really be that sad for this, we got to just tackle the system, not just look at Meek Mill. Meek Mill, and the judge said it, Meek Mill, and I've talked to multiple people who have been through the system, and even in Philly. And they're like, Meek has gotten way more opportunities than we have. We don't get this much opportunities. Mm-hmm. We don't get to fuck up and go to the judge and say, "Oh, hey, yeah, I showed up to a group home a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I've been doing some good things, and yeah, think about my rap career, think about whatever career." No, they're usually pretty harsh with us. So the majority of people who are well-versed in the system, they know when you get into that, there is no breaks being cut. They're not thinking about anything that's going on with you. And Meek Mill has been afforded, even though at times I think we would all agree, we feel like he's targeted a bunch. But he's gotten way more opportunities than the regular black man, and that's the operative word. Black man. Like, you know what it is, you're going into that system. Again, at some point, and of course it gets very complicated because allegedly his probation officer and the judge may have some ties or know him personally beyond just the case, and there might be a vendetta there. But if that's the case too, and they've tried to get that particular judge removed multiple times, it's been struck down like, nope, that judge is going to be fair. Nope, we're not going to do it. You got to act right or know what's coming. This, again, even though it surprised me for this reason, everybody should have saw it coming, especially Meek Mill.
Right. So this judge in court brought up, again, she's been working with him for years on this case at this point, said, "Look, once I even sent you to feed the homeless, I showed up to check on you and you weren't actually feeding the homeless when I got there." So she brought up a lot over the past years. So Joe, let's get into the deep dive here.
Well, no, not yet. I want to get into Act's last sentence of everybody should have saw this coming. And I want to piggyback that off of our XXX conversation. And I'm using him because he's the most recent case of rappers who have had these types of legal problems where I sit here every other day and say, they're watching you and they're going to hang you. You, most of the times, are on the opposite end of that. I need you to explain to me the difference.
Difference in what? Someone who's going to trial is someone who's on probation and gotten multiple opportunities.
Meek and XXX, yes. The difference in those two instances.
Well, there's a big difference. One guy obviously has a charge that he was convicted or he took a plea on for probation. Another guy is about to go into figuring out what the deal is with him, whether he's innocent or he's guilty or he takes a plea, right? Now, to your point, okay, you're right.
If black man is the operative word, and you said that, and they're both black men intertwined with legal issues, I'm asking what do you think the difference is and how they will be viewed?
They're going to be viewed almost the same way. Here's the difference, though. If you're looking for a difference, right? Ever since XXX, as you call him, or XXXTentacion has gotten famous, he's not gotten arrested since. Meek Mill, ever since he caught his case, and we've only known him since he's had this case, he's gotten arrested a bunch of times. He's gotten in trouble a bunch of times. So what we see with X, we see things that could get him to that point.
Okay.
But we haven't seen these arrests.
I hear what you're saying. Do you think that what you're saying is going to make a difference in court?
A difference how?
Do you think you saying XXX has not been arrested since he has been released and Meek has? Do you think that's going to make a difference in court?
Well, how the judge or whoever sees it?
I'm done talking to you. Listen, today's election day. I have to make a big deal out of election day, local election, because the presidential election is the one that gets all of the notoriety and the attention. However, the local elections is probably the most important. So I want to encourage all of y'all to go vote for your local offices, governor, mayor. To the people that don't know, that is how the judges are elected. So we can't continue to say that we have a problem with harsh judges and harsh sentencing if we as a people will do nothing about it. So I don't see anybody on Twitter, Black Twitter, Instagram, any of the little apps that people deem to be cool, young, networking, socializing apps talking about election day. But everybody's talking about Meek. So let's talk about Meek. I don't feel bad for Meek at all. I'm gonna give my mature, probably non-hip hop response, and then I'll start with my hip hop response. Yes, the system is bad. Yes, Meek is talented. I want to hear music from Meek. I am saddened that he is gone, especially for so long. All of that shit, I agree with everybody there. Now let's throw that to the side for a minute. Black man, system, they're watching you. I say that here all of the time. You argue with me, but I mean, we have a debate show, so I guess you're supposed to. But on days like this and matters like this, there's nothing to argue about. There's nothing to debate. Meek, and I said last week that Nicki wouldn't be in the court with him this time. And I'm sure that made a huge impact in the judge's decision last time when you look up and see so many label heads and so many stars and so many family members and all of this shit. The verdict surprised me, number one, because I didn't even know that yesterday this was happening. That's why it surprised me. There wasn't so much reporting on the day that, now maybe if I'd have come to work, I'd have known.
Well, we mentioned it last week that he had the date, but I guess to your
that
point,
was the first time
that you had heard.
That was the first time that I heard that this was coming up. To the people that have never been on probation or parole, and lucky for y'all, they don't play. They don't play. So when they say, do not leave the fucking state without letting us know, that is what they mean. When they want to see you use your notoriety for good and do all this charitable fucking community service, even if they're not sentencing you to community service, they still want to see it. Meek has surrounded himself with people that, if I'm just judging from the outside looking in, I don't think any one of those people tapped him to say, hey, you should probably modify your lifestyle. You should probably do some things different. You should probably make better decisions, being a premium act on Atlantic, number one. Like you said, you're going to be afforded more chances than some other people. The niggas that you running with, and I mean, we're not going to do no dry snitching on this show, but we've heard about a whole bunch of incidents. Do you think the court has not heard about those incidents too? That be the point that I keep making to you. They want to see the example that you set. They want to see all that. They have not seen that in the case of Meek Mill. I'm pretty sure he had a good idea he was going in yesterday.
Really? They said
I'm
he
sure
seemed
his
stunned.
feeling, the sentiment, well, if he was stunned, it's just because of arrogance. But we know that judge don't play.
Right.
I mean, this is not, I've sat here and said all of this stuff. The judge don't play. You've been in front of that judge a million times. They're not changing the judge. The judge is going to see it through. And look at your behavior. So, I mean, I don't really want to hear all this shit from hip-hop. We always get so mad every time somebody that we really, really like goes to jail, but we never do anything as a fucking community to make sure these people are behaving in a manner that's conducive to how society wants you to live. We never do that. So, I want Meek to come home as somebody who thinks that the jail system probably saved my dad's life. Sometimes jail saves your life when you live in the wrong way. Hopefully Meek could go in there, get the proper amount of sleep, proper amount of rest, 3 scheduled meals a day, just get his life back on and do some soul searching and some personal inventory and get himself together so that when he comes out, pardon me, so that when he comes out, he'll do some things differently. Yeah. And we don't have to keep going through this. I mean, this is insanity. Well, you do the same thing expecting different results.
I know. He does have support, though. So Jay-Z did comment on Facebook. Of course, he signed with Roc Nation. He said that, of course, this is unjust and heavy-handed. We'll always stand by and support Meek as he attempts to right this wrongful sentence and then in returning to his musical career. So at least he'll have that support.
So it's unjust and heavy-handed. Jay-Z, who has been involved in all types of politically conscious fucking shit as of late. Great, the system is the system. Thank you, Jay, for telling us what we already know. Black men, the system is the system. We know that already. That part is not going to change. I don't need an announcement every time the system is the system. I need other people to do something knowing the system is the system, which is not get your ass wrapped up in it. That's what I need. I don't need this.
Well, you mentioned that he could go in and have some soul searching. When he got locked up previously for like 8 months or maybe it was a year, and he came out and he had that whole wave, he said that he was living wrong at that time. The reason why a lot of people are sad now is because they seen this recent run of interviews where he's admitting like, hey, I was on drugs. I had to cut a lot of people from my team. I had to get off the drugs. I'm a different person. But I remember we had that talk here to say, I'm not too sure how much he's changed. And you're right. Yeah, maybe he hasn't done like all these crazy stuff we see, but like if his team is involved, yeah, people like that perception still kind of falls on him.
When you first get into television, right? They start to teach you about how you look on camera. They start to tell you to put the extras on because on camera you need to kind of exaggerate things just so the right vision could be fucking. They tell you that you gain some, what you fucking look fat. I say this to say, you have to put the extras on it. Chris Brown, when he was going through it, when we killed him for the bow tie, when he was running around Barbara Walters, everybody in the world, he put the extras. He put the extras on it. T.I., his case.
Yeah, T.I. lost a whole accent.
He put the extras on it. T.I. for the next 3 years after they found them guns in Walmart had on a Mr. Rogers, Bill Cosby sweater. That nigga, you couldn't tell that was the same nigga that made I got my beat down.
And they knew the SARS back.
So you have to put extras on it. Do I think that Meek put enough extras on it for his hard-nosed judge who has been on the case the whole time to afford him even more leniency? No. So, Meek is in jail, and Meek is in my prayers. Next up to bat, XXX. It's happening. They're not playing with you little niggas. You little young black niggas just running around getting all of this money and putting it on Instagram, all of this taxable money that you're putting on Instagram. You're running around with your fucking tight blouses and clothes. You're beating people up with microphones. You're cursing. Y'all think the world is yours, and goddamn it, y'all got enough talent to make sure maybe one day it will be. With the right decision making. The judges are watching you. The courts are watching you. I don't know how many more times that has to be said up here before you niggas start moving and shaking a little different.
Yo, prayers to Meek Mill, man. He makes it through this.
Go vote.
Go vote today.
Vote.
Are you voting after the show?
Local mayors, governors, yes.
Ah?
Yeah.
We're all voting today?
I gotta vote because in Jersey, In Jersey, that fucking governor and mayor race over there, they trying to put the old Weinstein group rich nigga over there. No. Not in New Jersey. I see, I have to pay attention to that stuff.
No.
I've been in front of judges and courts way too many times to just run out and vote on the president. The president don't give a fuck about what the judges is doing in Jersey. He don't care. He got other things to tend to. Yeah, I encourage everybody to go vote.
I appreciate the PSA, for real, everybody.